Tonight, charges leveled against the Las Vegas shooter.
And even more snow, how the East Coast is coping.
Good evening and welcome to EIV News at 6. I'm Mariah Terry.
And I'm Sean Stackhouse. We begin with tonight's top stories. Record-breaking low temperatures hit the south. Arrival of snowstorms and Arctic winds led to the drop of temperatures midweek. In light of over 30 deaths due to the weather, officials are urging citizens to brace themselves for potential snow on Friday. The new storm is expected to yield more snow, prompting storm warnings in various states across the east. The snowstorm prompts a change in the daily routine of citizens in the South.
800,000 new Obamacare forms need to be resent. Officials say incorrect tax forms were sent to enrollees of the Affordable Care Act and need to wait until early March to receive them. Fortunately, about 95% have not filed their taxes yet. Republicans have taken this opportunity to criticize the president, while White House spokesman Josh Earnest explains that the mishap shouldn't hinder people from punctually filing taxes.
President Obama has vetoed the pipeline. The president has used his first veto in 5 years to strike down the bill that would allow construction of the Keystone XL to begin. Obama is bound to receive heavy criticism from conservatives for denying an opportunity for thousands of jobs to be created. The pipeline is supposed to transport oil from Canada to the rest of the U.S. at a time when many are focusing on moving away from fossil fuels. This is the first of 13 bills that the president opposes set to come out of the newly Republican-controlled House and Senate.
People say there's nothing to do in Alaska. Well, not anymore. Alaska residents' vote to legalize marijuana was enacted this week, becoming the fourth state to allow recreational use of the drug. Pot use inside the home in Alaska has been legal since 1975, but possession was against the law. Details about the sale of marijuana are still being worked up, but residents are allowed to possess up to 1 ounce and grow 6 plants. However, getting high in public is still illegal.
Details of last week's murder in Las Vegas continue to emerge. Police have charged 19-year-old Eric Nausch with the murder of mother of 4 Tammy Myers. Myers' husband is saying his wife knew the teenager, he lived nearby, and that he used to wash cars in the neighborhood. Nausch's attorneys are saying they don't believe the murder was road rage, but are claiming the shooting was in self-defense. The district attorney hasn't decided if they will pursue the death penalty for Nausch.
Detroit residents can't seem to catch a break. Despite coming out of bankruptcy in November, the city is still facing financial trouble. Foreclosures for homeowners are more likely within the next year. The county plans on going after 76,000 properties, 35,000 of which are currently occupied. Activists say the city has put homeowners at a disadvantage by inflating home values and not addressing the issue earlier. Officials say the city needs to go after foreclosed homes and auction them if it wants to stay financially stable. This could affect 1/7 of the population.
Birdman soars at the Oscars, taking home 4 awards. Alejandro Iñárritu's film took home the Oscar for cinematography, original screenplay, director, and Best Picture. Every Best Picture nominee left with at least 1 award. Eddie Redmayne won Best Actor for his portrayal of Stephen Hawking in The Theory of Everything, and Julianne Moore won Best Actress for her role in Still Alice. Acceptance speeches turned political when Common and John Legend discussed civil rights. Patricia Arquette discussed equal pay for women, and Graham Moore discussing suicide.
Now for everything overseas, we go to our international correspondent, Shayna Ferreira.
Thanks, Mariah. In Ukraine, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry spoke strongly against Russian interests in light of what he calls unacceptable actions in Ukraine. Kerry, alongside UK Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond, are working continuously to support peace efforts in order to accomplish this. Kerry confirms that he and other leaders are talking about the continuity of additional sanctions, and the Secretary of State is confident that the United States, United Kingdom, and others are prepared to step up to the problematic behavior. In other news, in Dubai, hundreds of people were evacuated from one of the world's tallest residential buildings on Saturday when the fire permeated the torch, a 79-foot skyscraper. But Dubai's police commissioner confirms that the fire appeared to be the result of an accident and did not suspect it was caused by a deliberate criminal act. However, the investigation of this fire is still underway. Out of those evacuated, no fatalities have been reported. 4 have suffered minor injuries. And the Secretary of State Ashton Carter announced that the U.S. is considering delaying their exit from Afghanistan. President Obama's current plan has military presence cut in half by the end of this year and nearly at zero by the end of 2016. Carter says that they are now reconsidering this strategy, partially because the new government of Afghanistan is willing to work with the United States. Carter also says that the new timetable for troop withdrawal would assist with the United States counterterrorism efforts. In other news, a step in the positive direction for Liberia, a country that reopened its land borders, which were shut down during the Ebola outbreak. Liberia was confirmed as the epicenter of the deadly virus that claimed over 9,000 lives. According to the World Health Organization, President Sirleaf also has lifted the nationwide curfew, which was imposed in August to help combat the virus. The president's order is said to go into effect on Sunday. And that's all for this week's international news. I'm Shayna Ferreira, back at the desk.
Thanks, Shayna. Coming up after the break, is eating late bad for your brain?
And a robotic firefighter? We'll be right back. Welcome back to EIV News at 6. I'm Sean Stackhouse.
And I'm Mariah Terry. We're now joined by our sports correspondent, Harris Rubenstein. Harris, what's going on this week?
Thanks, guys. Here's what's going on in sports. As they say in Seinfeld, if he were any more Cuban, you'd have to smoke him. The Red Sox have signed 19-year-old Cuban superstar Yoan Moncada to a $31 million deal. The added plus for this is that for Sox fans is that the biggest competitor for the young Cuban star's services was the New York Yankees. Other teams in the hunt were the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Marlins. But the Sox pulled ahead Sunday night when they bumped their price up $4 million to hop over the New York Yankees. Moncada is expected to start his career in Single-A and move up the ranks very quickly. He is now considered one of the 10 best prospects in all of baseball and the top prospect in the Sox whole system. Due to his signing and the signing of 2 other Cuban pitching prospects, the Red Sox cannot sign another international player until 2017, but with Moncada, they have the metaphorical golden cow of the vaunted Cuban baseball pipeline. Maybe they should take the American away from American football. Australian rugby superstar Jared Hayne has signed a futures contract with the Detroit Lions. The 27-year-old Hayne stands at 6'2", 220 pounds. But his departure from the sport comes also after losing Sonny Bill Williams and Sam Burgess and has been compared to, quote, soccer losing Messi, Ronaldo, and Suarez to golf. He will be playing running back for the Lions. The only word to describe the Boston Bruins season this year is disappointing. And guess what? It's not really going to get any better. David Krejci, one of the Bruins' best players and assistant captains, will be out 4 to 6 weeks with a partially torn MCL in his left knee. He got injured after a nasty hit against the St. Louis Blues and missed the Bruins' 6-2 thumping of the Chicago Blackhawks. Krejci has only played in 38 of the Bruins' 59 games so far this year, and he's missed a good chunk of the beginning of the year with a separate knee injury. He's put up 28 points in the games he's played in after putting up 69 points last year in a full season. He is expected to be back with the team right before the start of the playoffs. That is, if the Bruins actually make the playoffs. That's all for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the updates, Harris. In other news, dietary advisors tell Congress that eating meat harms the environment. The Dietary Guidelines Advisory Committee stated that large meat consumption increases one's carbon footprint. The committee recommends an increased intake of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and seeds. These foods are lower in calories and have a small environmental impact. Congress and the meat industry have criticized the committee in response. The report given by the DGCAC serves as the basis for the government's dietary guidelines.
A Miami daredevil was hanging from a 50-foot crane with a GoPro strapped to his head. Miami police are looking for the man who has since taken down his YouTube page and social media accounts. Law enforcement don't want others copying his behavior and believe that he is a threat to the city's safety. They also think the masked man was not working alone and that he could land up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine for his stunt.
Researchers at Virginia Tech have developed firefighting robots. The shipboard autonomous firefighting robot, called a SAFER, will be used by the United States Navy. The robot is almost 6 feet tall and has fully functioning joints. SAFER is capable of walking and maneuvering around obstacles. Current models have a 30-minute battery life, while the next model is expected to have full mobility and decision-making skills. The final goal of the robots is to incorporate them as Navy team members.
eating late may be detrimental to your health. A study by UCLA professor Christopher Caldwell shows the negative side effects of late-night snacking. Interrupting your sleep-wake cycle with eating severely affects learning and memory. This habit can also lead to serious diseases such as type 2 diabetes and immune system disorders. Caldwell suggests sticking to a strict sleeping and eating cycle in order to stay healthy and alert. This habit will improve brain function and help limit weight gain.
In this historic winter, crime rates are dropping all over the country. New York has gone a record-breaking 12 days without a murder. Boston has also seen much less crime than normal. A study has been published of different types of crimes over the last 30 years. It was found that almost all crime rates go down when the temperature falls below 50 degrees. Boston Police Commissioner Bill Evans says he wishes it could be winter every day.
Still coming up, we have your weather forecast with our weather correspondent, Emily Tully. Stick around. Welcome back. I'm Sean Stackhouse.
And I'm Mariah Terry. The weather here in Boston has been pretty depressing lately, so let's see if Emily Tully can brighten up our day a little bit.
Thank you, Mariah. As we all know, Mother Nature has had it out for Boston this February, but we are trying our best to keep it sunny and clear for you in the next couple of days. Today we were covered by some clouds and snow in the early morning hours, but we did get a little bit of sun as the day went on, reaching a high of 30 degrees. In the next few hours, we are looking at a mostly clear night with a low of around 10 degrees. It looks like we have a pretty decent couple of days ahead of us, though, with mostly sun and clouds on the horizon. Tomorrow, Thursday, has a high of 20 degrees with just a couple of clouds here and there, but remaining mostly sunny for the day. There is a slight possibility of snow flurries in the morning. At night, temperatures will be dropping to about 7 degrees. Now moving on to the rest of our 5-day forecast. We have a good start to our weekend with Friday and Saturday both looking clear but very cold, so please keep that in mind when going outside. Friday will begin with some clouds, but eventually clearing up to reveal the sun, reaching a high of 21 degrees with a low of 7 degrees during the night. Saturday will be even sunnier than the day before and feature a high of 26 degrees during the daytime hours and a low of just 14 degrees later on. Sunday will begin with some sun and clouds. Expect some rain showers throughout the afternoon and night with the possibility of some snow flurries in the mix in the late evening. High of 34, low of 28 degrees. Then as the forecast rounds out on Monday, we do have a good chance of rain, snow, freezing rain, and a lot of clouds. It will be a bit warmer, getting up to 39 degrees and dropping to 22 degrees at nighttime. Not quite the sweatshirt weather we're looking for. So try and keep warm in the chilly weather the next couple of days. I'm Emily Tully.
Thanks, Emily. Man, I'm really glad to hear that there's some sun coming our way, but I'm not happy to hear about this frigid weather.
Neither am I, but as anyone can tell you, I'm looking forward to the light as much as I am looking forward to the warm weather.
Well, thanks again, Emily.
Yes, thanks, Emily. That's all we have time for this week. For EIV News at 6, I'm Sean Stackhouse.
And I'm Mariah Terry. We'll see you next week.